Men, I want you to be successful on your dates. I want you to get what you're looking for. So I'm going to lay out for you the easiest ways to impress any woman on the first date. My name is Stephan, your life, dating, and relationship coach, providing you today with dating advice for men. All right, we're going to be talking about, again, the easiest ways to impress any woman on the first date. As always, be sure to like this video, share it, and comment below. Tell me some of the things you feel are easy ways to impress any woman. Now, listen, what women like and need can vary and vary, from woman to woman. However, again, what I'm going to lay out for you today is pretty much universal. It's going to be very difficult to find a woman who wouldn't find it at least a nice thing to see a man doing what I'm about to tell you, all right? So be mindful of these things. Now, let me make this real clear. I do not want you to be something you're not. I do not want you to do these things if you're not going to become the man who can do them consistently. I don't want you to look at these as tricks to manipulate the situation. That's not what we're here for. I'm trying to help you succeed so you can have healthy relationships, healthy, successful dating experiences. I'm trying to make things better in a positive way. So any kind of manipulation and game playing, we're not here for that, all right? So let me lay out for you the easiest ways to impress any woman on the first date. Number one, plan the date. Now listen, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm a serial non-planner, okay? Like, it doesn't matter if it's dates, if it's my tour events, I'm not the greatest at planning, but though that is a weakness of mine, I can still acknowledge the power of a man who was willing to plan, or at least the power it has on impressing that woman. You know, a lot of women view your willingness to plan and your ability to execute as good leadership, as effort, as genuine desire for her. She translates that into a lot of positive attributes. Now, we can make some arguments on, like, I've heard some people say, well, if you can't plan a date, you can't lead. I don't agree with that. However, I do agree that it's going to communicate good leadership skills when you can plan it on your own. A lot of women are tired of the, okay, well, what do you want to do? I don't know. Where do you want to go? Like, you're asking the woman out on a date, but you have no vision, no plan. Now, I understand some of you guys may be concerned of, well, I'll make plans, and what if she doesn't like it? Listen, the smart thing to do is you create your plan, but you have a plan B, or you have some alternate routes you can take if, let's say, this isn't her cup of tea. So, for example, let's just say you planned a date to the zoo. Just an example, all right? And you find out after you get to the zoo, she is terrified of monkeys, okay, or whatever animals are in that zoo. And now you're like, what am I going to do? This was the date. So in a scenario like that, this is where you want to have alternate routes just in case the first one fails. And in this scenario, this is where you can also invite her opinion of, hey, listen, what would you like? Or you can always take the approach of, my plan is to take you so-and-so, but if you prefer anything different, let me know. So you're still showing her, I am planning, I have a vision, I have everything set up, but I am open to the fact that you may not like that, and if you want to suggest something different, I am flexible. So now you've covered both bases of showing that you can plan and impressing her in that way, but also leaving it open to be flexible and make some adjustments, because you understand that sometimes our taste does not align and she may prefer something different. All right. So planning the date, very, very easy way to impress, again, pretty much any woman. All right. Number two is dress well. Now, I know that sounds so obvious, dress well, but let's go a little bit deeper into this. All right. I hear a lot of stories from women of men coming to these dates looking a hot mess, all right? Clearly either getting your homeboy's opinion or your own opinion that does not really know how to dress you up in an effective manner. That's the key here. We got to go on these dates trying to emphasize or trying to bring out our best in the sense of, again, how do we best present ourselves on this first date? Now, like I mentioned in the very beginning, I don't want you being something you're not, but I want you to identify your style and even not a date uniform, so to speak, but understanding that what's a good style for you on dates to use. And so one of the best ways to find that is to ask the opinion of other women. So before you even go on another date, start doing your homework now. Start getting the opinions of friends, family members, whoever that are women. Even if you have social media followers, do a picture where you have you in 3 different outfits and say, hey, pick one, A, B, C. And now you're starting to see how women see you in these different styles and outfits. And now you start to see what is working for you and what's going to be most effective. So this is what I mean by dressing well. It's really about dressing effectively for what's going to work more in your favor on that date. But here's also a key to always remember. Your shoes are important. So a lot of women evaluate men based on their shoes. They're checking them shoes out, and if they look bummy, they look old, that can work against you. So you want to make sure you don't need expensive shoes, but they need to be clean, they need to be nice. And again, this is where you get the opinions of women, because your homeboys might say, man, them shoes are great, those are on point. But that doesn't mean women view it the same way. And you're not going on a date to impress the men, you're going on a date to impress the woman. So find out what other women like, all right? So dress effectively and pay attention to your shoes. Number 3 on the list of easiest ways to impress any woman on a first date is smell good. So simple. Like, yo, this is, again, easy, just easy. Now, let's put it out there right now. Do not drown yourself in cologne. All right, too many of y'all are going to kill her nose, her sense of smell, because you're coming off too strong. And this is why, again, a lot of these things I'm mentioning are things I want you to get a grasp on before you go on a date. So what I mean by that with the cologne is, if you have a certain cologne, test out how much is too much. Go to a friend. Maybe you spray 3 times and say, okay, how's the scent, the smell right now? Now, granted, other people, different people have different senses of smell, and what may come off strongest to one may not come off to another. But you can get an idea of what's too much and what's a nice, good enough amount that the smell is coming off of you and it is having an effective impact on the date and on that woman. So and also, even when it comes to the cologne, again, get the opinions of a woman. Anytime I've purchased cologne in the past, I would get the opinions of a woman and it would work every single time. And when I say it would work, meaning when I wore that cologne, I got compliments on that cologne. I got, attention from that cologne. You want to tap into the mind of a woman if you're trying to be more successful with women. And that's what this whole video is about. How to impress any woman. And I'm going to say something about the whole impress part at the end of this video. So be sure to watch all the way through. But bottom line is, smelling good, always going to work in your favor, but don't drown yourself in it. Get the opinions of other women on what's going to work on your body and what is too much or even not enough cologne to make sure you hit that sweet spot. The number 4 key to impressing any woman, or number 4 easiest way to impressing any woman on the first date, is don't be the one to bring up sex. Listen, women are already on guard. And again, let me throw out there, we're talking about having healthy dating, successful, serious, intentionally minded men trying to make a relationship, a positive, healthy one happen. All right. If you are about just trying to have sex, then clearly this won't apply to you. But if you're about trying to take the situation very seriously, then yes, do not be the one to bring up sex. That can be a huge turnoff to a woman. Even at times where she seems to continue along with the date or not be bothered, it's actually playing in her head like, dang, we just met and this guy's already talking about sex. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Now, if she brings it up, that's a completely different ball game, and I will leave it to you to determine if you want to entertain that conversation. But don't be the one to do it. So you want to learn how to have good conversation, but you want to learn how to stay away from the topic of sex, because it's very easy for a lot of men, especially if you as a man don't know how to hold a good conversation. Sex becomes an easy topic to just default to. All right. And again, you may think it's okay because she's showing you a certain vibe, but don't always mistake her even being flirtatious as, oh, she's trying to go there right now. It's the first date. Just focus on getting to know her. Leave the sex talk alone. Again, if she brings it up, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that happens, but don't be the one that brings it up. All right. So you want to impress her, don't bring up sex. And now the fifth easiest way to impress any woman. And before I give you that, real quick plug, go get the book, He Who Finds a Wife. I left the link in the description as well as in the comments section. It's the book for men, helping you find the love you desire. It's really helping a lot of men out there. It may surprise you because I think a lot of men, they're not used to relationship advice being given to them in certain ways, but I think you're going to find the book very helpful. So again, click the link in the description and in the comments section and get your copy today. So again, back to number 5, fifth easiest way to impress any woman is be chivalrous. Now, I know people will say chivalry is dead, and some people say it's dead because women killed it. And I'm not even going to argue that right now. I'll leave that for a different video. However, it is still appreciated by a lot of women. And it still helps you stand out. Let me give you a quick story. There was one time, I'll never forget, I went to go speak in, I forgot the island, St. John's or something, all right? Now, this wasn't a date. I went there to go speak, but I was with the organizer. We went out to get something to eat. And while we were walking, she was walking on the side closest to the street, closest to where the cars are coming, and I'm on the inside of the sidewalk. So I politely slid her over to the inside of the sidewalk and put myself on the outside. And it shocked her. And she was like, I've never had a man do that for me. And in my mind, I'm thinking this is just second nature. This is just what it is. I'm not even trying to impress. I'm not trying to do anything. That's just my mannerisms by nature. But I saw how powerful it was as far as what it meant to her to even experience that. And so there's a lot of women who aren't treated with chivalry. There's a lot of women who don't get to see those gestures, and when they do, it is very powerful to them. And even those who see it, they still enjoy it. Now, granted, for any woman watching this video, make sure you show appreciation when a man is chivalrous. All right? Like, say the thank yous, because you won't believe how many women don't even say thank you to an open door or pulling out of the chair and things of that nature. So make sure you show appreciation. But regardless, men, the focus is on you right now, and I want you to implement those things. So stuff like pulling out the chair, opening her door. Again, if we're walking outside, putting her on the inside of the sidewalk, think with a chivalrous mindset. This is very likely going to impress her. All right. And you will see a positive impact from it. So those are some of the easiest ways to impress any woman. But I told you, I want to say something about the word impress. So here's the reality. Like I was speaking the other day on this app, and we were talking about first dates, and they asked the guys, what's your mindset, your approach to a first date? And I did say on there, to be completely transparent, I'm not trying to impress anyone. Now, when I said that, what I mean is, because I'm over here giving you a video on how to impress women, what I meant by that was, I'm not going to go outside of my norm if that's not who I really am. I'm also not going to put a heavy emphasis on, I got to spend a ridiculous amount of money, take you to the fanciest restaurant, or put on this extravagant date, all right, in order to impress you. Because I need you to appreciate who I am as a man, and I need to see, do we vibe, do we have a connection, and it's not about all the hype of the date. So there's nothing wrong, and I would even encourage men to consider that. I don't want you going all out trying to impress her in that way, all right? I don't want you setting a standard that you can't keep up. But I do think that the things I mentioned here today are simple, easy things that you should want to continue. You should want to be a man who can smell good for your woman, or in general, period, for yourself. You should be a man who can hold a conversation and not just be controlled by your sexual desires. You should be a man who should be chivalrous. Like I told you in my story, I was chivalrous not on a date. I was chivalrous in general. I would want you to implement those things in your everyday life, regardless of who you with, and all the other things I mentioned. So I want you to understand that difference between trying to put on a show for a woman versus trying to embrace and implement very powerful, very healthy practices that are going to be good, not just for the date, but for you in general in life. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there.
What do you think the solution is? Do you think people like lower their standards, or you think people should raise their qualifications?
Well, you know, I believe in raising your qualifications, all right? That has to be the focus, because forget finding a partner for your own